Well guys, I need to level with you. I got something wrong with my initial assessment of the Mark VII. So in my review video, I sort of bemoaned the fact that 2B mode was stuck on channel 3 with two really great high gain sounds, and it didn't really belong here, and that it belonged on channel 2 with the other sort of moderate gain channels. Now, while I do still kind of feel that way after watching more Mark VII content here on YouTube and reading through the Boogie Facebook group posts when it comes to the Mark VII content, it's pretty apparent that no one really cares about 2B mode. It's almost like it just doesn't exist, and the reviews, they just kind of quickly gloss over it so that they can get on with the show and get to the 2C and Mark IV mode. Now in my review, I did try to spend a decent amount of time on 2B mode to sort of highlight the strengths that I thought that it really brought to the table in relation to sort of the more classic rock sounds, because that's really kind of where I dialed it in, and I really enjoyed it there. Well, that changes right now, because today I'm dedicating an entire video to this amp mode, the mode that most Mark VII owners probably consider a throwaway setting. Now, I played nearly the entire show this past weekend on just this mode to prove a point, which is that not only does 2B mode have a massive range of usable gain, but that it also has a unique structure that offers a good alternative to what you get on 2C and Mark IV mode. Something like that. And now I'll play some generic stuff just in case all of that gets copyright strikes on it. So here we go. This is just generic noodling because YouTube loves to flag my stuff. Actually, I'll start off on the kind of the cleaner stuff when I roll the volume knob back. And just in case I had to cut all of the content that I just played, which was a lot of the songs that our band plays, like little samples of that, it just sort of like, I can clean up really, really well with this neck pickup rolled back. And then now, I think that 2B mode brings an interesting twist to the third channel if you really crank the gain control. For whatever reason, and this is totally on me, I never really pushed the gain more than like halfway on my original video. I just sort of kind of stopped there because, and boosted it because honestly, I just thought it sounded really good at halfway with the Golden Boy. Now, part of that could just be that I'm not used to running amp gain control so high, and that beyond halfway, the other two modes, for me personally, I don't really think that they have any sounds that fit my style of playing and the types of songs that our band plays. And also the Golden Boy sounds really good with this amp, assuming you're not going just crazy with the preamp gain. Now, just randomly last week, I was playing around with the amp and started raising the gain on 2B mode, higher and higher and higher, past halfway, and to my surprise, everything stayed extremely clear and uncompressed, and had this really nice linear gain taper increase to the saturation. And when I backed the gain back down and then switched over to 2C mode, with 2C mode set to a comparable level of gain, which for reference is kind of about noon on the gain control to match 2B mode when it's all the way up. 2B mode just hits very different in, I think, a very good way. It's a more raw and unrefined sound that's a bit more open and clear than the other two modes, while still being able to, as you could hear, dish out a lot of very musical and articulate gain. And there's less overall smoothness in the upper mids and a little bit less of a percussive low end compared to the other two. So in other words, of any settings on this amp, this one sounds and feels like the most like British, but still has that unmistakable creamy mid-range snarl from the Mark voicing. But all the other frequencies above that are more unrefined and raw and less compressed than what you get on 2C mode. All that said, this really isn't the setting to be laying down like death metal riffs with, and but for heavy rock, man, it just delivered so incredibly well and just ripped really hard on stage. And because of how exceptional it handles lower gain sounds, I was able to quickly just reach back and adjust the gain control to kind of suit whatever song we were playing, whether it was like Weezer, Stone Temple Pilots, Foo Fighters, Green Day, like other bands like Limp Bizkit and Tool, Rage Against the Machine. I mean, like, I know Tom Morello doesn't use a whole lot of gain, but when we play those songs, we go hard. We go hard when we play Rage. So it was very easy for me to just reach back and just sort of make whatever kind of tweak I needed on just the gain control to suit whatever song we were playing. But we kind of lump our songs into blocks of aggression in terms of like, okay, now we're gonna play some like the modern country crap that, you know, a bunch of the girls like to dance to, or we're gonna play maybe some of the 80s stuff, more like the older stuff, and then we're gonna play some of the 90s stuff, and then we'll go into like the 2000s and like some of the heavier stuff. And so it's easy for me to just like make a quick tweak on the gain to sort of fit like a big block of songs that we'll play. So now that I've said my piece on the matter, I will close out this video and I will play like a little bit of between 2C and 2B mode so that you can hear exactly sort of what I'm talking about with the structure and the refinement and the rawness being different, but also on 2B mode, I mean 2C mode, how it has a bit tighter and more compressed and percussive low end that, you know, obviously makes it a better choice if you're wanting to play like the higher gain metal stuff. All right, that is it. I will play you guys out and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, bye.